Afternoon. I realize I haven't put any videos up in the last few weeks, basically because I have not had my drone with me. It was sent back to DJI because the camera was no longer working, the sensor was no longer sending video. They have since sent me a new drone, which I'm going to go and meet up with a friend of mine, and we're going to go do some comparisons, we're going to do some testing, and we're just going to talk a little bit about some of the reasonings why people are getting one drone as opposed to another. I will put a link to his video in the description below, so check that. I'm also going to put a link to his channel in the description below because it's got a lot of good stuff on editing, color grading, filters, and just some general camera settings as well, that while he flies a Phantom 3 Pro, a lot of this stuff translates across the board from one camera to the next. It doesn't really matter what you shot on. If you're shooting in a log format, you're going to do your color grading mostly the same anyway. So really good information there and worth checking out. So about an hour heading out, going to go to a small park. He's going to bring his, I think he's got the Phantom 3 Pro, and I'm taking my Mavic, and we're going to do a compare and contrast on a couple things. He wants some video from the Mavic to take back and look at and test and play with, and I said no problem. I'll make sure all three of my batteries are charged up, and we'll give it a run, and you can take whatever footage you want to take back home with you. So we're going to do that in, like I said, about an hour. We're also going to answer some of the questions that some people have had on his page and see how far we can get to in that and answering those. After that, I'm probably going to come home, charge up the batteries, and go out and fly on my own so I can start to learn and get used to the controls and the flight patterns of a quadcopter, which are very, very different than anything I've ever really done. This is my first drone, so I've got a lot of learning to do between now and our next project. One of the big questions though that people have been asking is why the Mavic over the Phantom 4 or now the Phantom 4 Pro. And while the camera guy in me wants the Phantom 4 Pro or the new Inspire 2 with the raw camera, the realist and the motorcyclist in me says no way. Have to stick, don't have to. But I'm gonna stay with the Mavic. This fits on my motorcycle without adding an extra bag. Convenience, portability, ease of use. That's what I need on a motorcycle. I don't want to have to add another whole bag to the bike if I'm going out for a week. I don't want a big ass backpack that I have to wear. I don't want to sacrifice a top box on the back and leave gear that I would need, who knows, to survive, camping gear, just because I want to take a drone. And that's the only reason I have not purchased a drone prior to now. And it's the only reason I have not sold the Mavic and gotten the Phantom 4 Pro. I just can't take that P4 Pro everywhere I need to go. Now, most of my use is probably going to be with some film projects with some friends, where the Mavic ends up being a crane or a dolly. Maybe an opening sequence. I don't see myself doing a whole lot of landscape stuff with the Mavic. Most of it's going to be, cinematic. I'm actually going to be using the tap to focus to get a foreground and background. You know, I want some bokeh in the background. You know, I want stuff to be out of focus. I want a well-defined subject. So that right there is another reason why that's all I want to do. You know, that's why I'm keeping the drone. That's why I bought the drone. So beyond that, you know, everybody has to have their own reasons for buying and keeping or not buying a product. Doesn't matter if it's a drone or a phone or a camera or a car. You know, we all have to define our own reasons for purchasing something. Mine happens to be portability. When we get done producing our videos, they're all in HD. You know, everything we do on our projects is 1080. Being able to shoot in 4K is great. Probably going to shoot in 2.7. Don't know. We got to get footage out of the drone and get it on the computer and check it out. So let me get off here. I'm going to go get ready and get the car packed up and head out to the park. And hopefully the next time you see me, you won't actually be looking at me, but be looking at the footage out of the Phantom. And again, check the description below. I'll have Fred's page down there. I'll put his video that he shoots today when he gets done editing. I'll get that up there. And hopefully it'll help some people with their own decisions. And I just hope everybody looks at this in the right light, in the light it was meant. And, you know, I bought this drone for me. I did not buy this for anybody else. So my own reasons are just that. They're my reasons. And I'm great that yours don't agree. Because yours don't agree with mine, we get drones like the Phantom. We get drones like the Mavic. We get drones like the Inspire. You know, if we all needed the same thing, it'd be a boring world. It's especially true for beer and bourbon. If we all liked the same stuff, there'd only be one of each, and God knows I can't drink Miller Lite. Till then, peace out.